Hello, I'm Sarah Murdick, Usui Reiki Master. I've been a Reiki instructor or teacher, which I actually prefer to the word master, for over 13 years now. And when I first started doing Reiki classes and attunements and even treatments, I made it my goal to make Reiki affordable to as many people as I possibly could. So I'm here today. I'm very honored that you've decided to take this Reiki Level 1 class. And I hope that you enjoy the Reiki experience as much as I have all these years. I'm going to use some notes here because I don't want to forget anything that you need to know, because there's a lot to cover, and I want to make sure that you have access to all the information you need. And having said that, I want you to know that I will be here for you. You can text me, phone me, email me if you have questions or concerns after any of the classes or any of the treatments that I might give to any of my clients. So I feel a responsibility to follow up, and I really would love your feedback too from your Reiki class and from your Reiki attunement. So I'll be checking on you, okay? So let me get my notes. And I realize that many of you are here for different purposes. Some of you want to become a Reiki instructor someday. You want to go on to become a Reiki 3, or some of you have health issues that are ongoing and you have experienced Reiki and you would really love to be able to give yourself self-treatments. And so that is just as valid a reason for taking a Reiki class as any other reason. So Reiki is all about a healing energy. It's wonderful. Some people describe it as love, peace, compassion, and that's a sense that you get when you're feeling that Reiki energy. And I'm here to help you to access that. So if you've had a Reiki treatment before, and I would think that maybe a lot of you that are here at this Reiki Level 1 class have, then maybe you kind of know what I'm talking about. But along my journey, when I took my Reiki Level 1 class, I did not really even know what Reiki was. I was taken to the class by a friend, and thankfully, I had a wonderful Reiki master instructor who did the class in an evening and did the attunement, and it really changed my life. So I really feel like it was sort of a karmic meant to be kind of a situation, and hopefully I've helped some people along my path. And I'm hoping that maybe this is going to be the start of a path for you. So I know that you're coming here with different backgrounds in what Reiki might be and different experiences. So let's get started. We'll get right into the material here. Now, Reiki is translated as universal energy. It's, to me, like a life force. It's something that is nurturing. And the way that we generally receive Reiki and transfer it to other people is through our crown chakra, our crown energy center on the top of our head. It comes through our body and generally out our palm chakras. That's the hands-on therapy that we come to know as Reiki. And so laying on of hands, hands-on therapy is the way that we transmit that healing energy to other people. We can also transmit it to ourselves as well. And I'm going to be showing you hand positions for doing a self-treatment, which is very important. And I really hope that you are very dedicated to doing your self-treatments, because it's going to make a huge difference after you get your attunement and how well you are getting that energy to flow through you, and how you are able to perceive that energy in a positive way. Okay, so very important, those self treatments, which we're going to go over in just a few minutes. So at this point in my healing path, I'm doing a lot of remote work. During the pandemic, I've had people contact me from all parts of the country, and I obviously couldn't get on a plane and travel to them and do hands-on healing. I couldn't do hands-on attunements. And so I have been using the distance healing and the distance attunements a lot, and it works. So I want to assure you of that. If you're getting your attunement through a distance attunement, it works. And I'm going to help you to assimilate that energy and get it flowing. But you got to put in the time, okay? You got to put in the dedication and the energy and get that energy to flow. Okay? It's a lot of people call it a form of healing energy or hands-on energy. In my opinion, it's like the original healing energy. And there's different ways of looking at it. You can do hands-on healing with somebody, and sometimes you end up giving up some of your energy, which is exhausting. Okay? We're all born with a certain amount of energy in our bodies. The Chinese call it Jing, I believe. But to us, we also need that energy to keep ourselves going. So giving up your own energy, especially if you're practicing Reiki, is kind of a no-no. Reiki, no-no. So be sure that you are always channeling that energy and letting it flow through you. That's a wonderful thing about Reiki energy, is that you channel it and you don't have to give up any of your own energy. And we'll talk about how we can avoid doing that a little bit later. So channeling that healing energy. Now, what can Reiki do? They have done a lot of research, a lot of experiments with Reiki, and they have found that it's a fact that Reiki can help to lower your blood pressure. It can slow your respiration rate to where you're calmer. It can help you to relax. It can help you with things like anxiety, stress, insomnia, and all of those things. You know how much damage stress can do to our system. If we can just eliminate the stress, at least for a while, then we can allow that healing to take place. So those have been certain attributes of Reiki that have been proven. Now, there is, as yet, no scientific evidence of Reiki healing a disease. So we can't really make that claim to people who might be our clients, our friends. We can't say, oh, well, let me give you some Reiki. I can heal your lupus, or I can heal your cancer. We can't make that claim, okay? But having said that, along your Reiki path, you are probably going to see a few miracles here and there. I can't tell you what they're going to be. I can't tell you how many miracles or how often you'll see miracles, but I've seen a few along my path, and some things have happened as a result of Reiki that are unexplainable. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to make any claims that anything of this nature, I mean, that's what a miracle is, right? It's something you really can't explain. So you may witness a few miracles along your path. And it's really hard to describe Reiki to somebody that hasn't felt it yet. So after your attunement, we're going to see if we can get that energy flowing through you, and then you'll understand what it is. Now, if you at any time ever decide that you don't want to do Reiki for whatever reason, Reiki is very polite and it will say, okay, that's fine, I'll back off. But at a later date, maybe 5 years later, you decide that you do want to do Reiki again, then you don't need to get another attunement. You're good to go. You just start practicing again, start doing your self-treatments, start giving Reiki, and it will start right up again. But it is not something that's going to take over your life. It will, in my opinion, make your life a lot better because it's going to influence everything you do. Once it starts flowing through you, it'll influence all of your activities. And there are probably going to be people that will come to you and you will not understand why these people are coming to you, but on some level, they just know that you can help them. So it's going to be an exciting, interesting journey, this Reiki path. So where did Reiki come from exactly? Well, a lot of people claim that it came from Japan back in the late 1800s, early 1900s with Dr. Mikao Usui, and that he went up to a mountain and fasted for 21 days, and at that moment in time, on the 21st day, he had a vision of all the Reiki symbols, and he was attuned to Reiki. Now, that may have happened. He was, we are finding out now, a Buddhist monk, but he probably had researched healing methods that went back centuries. Reiki may be over 2,000 years old, or even older than that. Nobody really knows when Reiki came to this planet. You might even say maybe Reiki came here when life came here. It's hard to know. I don't know if we'll ever know the answer to that, where Reiki came from. But you could say that Dr. Usui reintroduced Reiki to our modern world. And he taught others, and the ones that are in our particular Reiki lineage are these people. Here is Dr. Usui. He attuned Chujiro Hayashi, and he must have had to try and figure out a way of passing on the Reiki attunement to him. Not sure how that worked. Now, Mrs. Hawayo Takata was a woman of Japanese descent who was living in Hawaii. She was born in 1930, I believe, and she passed away in 1980. She went to Japan because she was gravely ill, and she wanted to find out if there were any healing methods other than surgery that would help her. So she went to Japan and she discovered Reiki, and she was healed. She learned Reiki, and she brought it back to Hawaii, which is how it was introduced to the West. Now, this is her granddaughter, Phyllis Furumoto, and she is in our direct line, if you are attuned by me, of Reiki Masters. And so when you've signed up for this course, I will be passing on some information to you that you can print and put in a notebook or a handbook. And one of those things is our Reiki lineage, our lineage. And this is how it goes. So we have Mikao Usui, Chujiro Hayashi, Hawaii Takata, Phyllis Furamoto, and then Bunny Shogren, attune my Reiki Master Ken Godi, and here am I, Sarah Murdick, and your name would go under mine, and that would be your Reiki lineage. Okay, so I'll send you a copy of this. And another thing that is really good to have, I think, is a copy of the Reiki precepts, but now they're missing. What happened to them? Let me see if I can remember the Reiki precepts by heart, okay? It's just some advice that Dr. Usui sent down through the generations, through the lineage, good reminders of how to live. And you'll see it phrased different ways. And it goes like this. Just for today, do not worry. Just for today, do not anger. Live your life honestly. Respect your elders. Some people say respect all life around you. They phrase it different ways. But basically, it's telling you how to live an honorable life. And it's very good advice. So I'll be sending you a copy of the Reiki precepts, and I promise I will find it. I don't know what happened to it. Okay, I had a bunch of things here that I had printed off. Anyway, you'll be receiving those hard copies of the lessons. Also, I'm going to be showing you how to do the hand positions for the self-treatment, and also how to, where the hands will be placed on another person if you're going to be doing a treatment on another person, maybe a family member, maybe a friend, or when you become a practitioner, maybe a client. Okay, so those are the things that you will be receiving from me. All right, let me go over these notes again and make sure that I'm not overlooking something. To receive a Reiki treatment, a Reiki attunement, you do need to be attuned by somebody who is a level 3. They call them Reiki masters or teacher. And so there are 3 levels. Some people break it down into 4 levels. I'm not going to go over that because that's not how it's done in our system. You're going to encounter other systems, other forms of Reiki. To me, Usui Reiki is the basic Reiki. So we have Reiki level 1, which this course is. And with level 1, you will be able to do your self-treatments. You'll be able to do hands-on treatments to others. And basically, it's about being able to place your hands on or near something and giving it Reiki energy. Okay, it's also a time for you to open up and get accustomed to the flow of the Reiki energy. Now, in Reiki level 2, you will learn how to do distance Reiki. You'll be able to send Reiki from to a distant place, to somebody that's far away. Okay, you'll be receiving some symbols that you need to learn how to use at that level. And I will be in that course showing you the symbols and showing you how to use them. And it will open you up further to the Reiki energy. At that point, most people say then you can call yourself a Reiki practitioner because you have opened up your energy field to be able to hold more of the Reiki energy. Okay, so you're building. And each time you receive an attunement, the energy isn't just doubling, it's increasing exponentially. Okay, so you're just getting accustomed to handling that Reiki energy. Now, some people say, well, how long do I need to wait between Reiki 1 and Reiki 2 and Reiki 3? And I say, well, that's up to you. I let you be the judge of that. A lady who I greatly admire and who wrote one of my favorite books called Essential Reiki, Diane Stein, did workshops for 15 years. She called them Reiki weekends, and she would attune people to all 3 levels in a weekend. Okay, that was a lot of energy for a lot of people to handle, but she did it because the people in the areas that she was visiting did not have access to Reiki training. And she, like me, wanted Reiki to be able to travel the world and be accessible to all who wanted it. And so this was her way of spreading the love, spreading Reiki. Okay? And so it's up to you how soon you want to have that second level attunement. The students that I have had generally have waited maybe a few months. I've had a couple that wanted to just do the next one as soon as possible, but for the most part, they preferred to wait a while. At level 3, then you learn how to pass attunements to individuals that wish to start their Reiki journey. Now, you can get somebody from another system or another line, another Reiki master who got their Reiki 1 and then will come to you for Reiki 2. And that's perfectly okay. You can do that. So you don't need to have people start Reiki 1 with you and you have to do 2 and 3 for them as well. So they're free to go to another Reiki master, or you can take somebody who has gone to another teacher and attune people, because the Usui Reiki is Usui Reiki, and it can be passed on through attunement to anyone who wishes to have it. Okay, at level 3, then you are able to pass attunements to other people, and I will, in that course, show you how in this system we pass the attunements to other people. Okay, originally those attunements were very labor intensive, let's say, and now they've learned how to focus that energy and do the attunement in a shorter amount of time. Okay, now there is a lot of history to Reiki, and if you want to know more about the origins of Reiki, get this book, Essential Reiki by Diane Stein, because she'll go into great depth about a lot of things. I mean, this is it could have been named Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About Reiki. That would be an apt name for this book. So I recommend this book highly. There are a lot of other books that are very wonderful that you might find on the market. And if you're wondering about a specific book, you can always ask me and I'll tell you what I think, because I've read a lot of them. But this is still my favorite. She also has written a teacher's manual, which I bought and I use and have used to teach many of my classes. Okay, now, after you receive your Reiki attunement, and you'll coordinate a time to do this, a day and a time to do this, we'll hook up by telephone probably. We can do it through text message, however you prefer. You will be in a quiet place. I want to make this your attunement. I'm not going to do a video and then say, there, you watch the video and you're attuned. I want to make this personal for you. I want my intention to be that you are going to receive this attunement. And after that, I will send you a Reiki certificate. Now, if you want my physical signature on the certificate, I can mail it to you if you provide me an address. I'll be happy to do that. But I will email a copy of it to you as well with your name on it. So that's documentation that you have received a Reiki attunement from a Reiki teacher. Okay? That's kind of always good to have, especially if you're going to go into some healing business and you want to practice Reiki for money, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, you need to have your compensation for your time, and it's fine to make your living honestly, as Usui said. So that's fine. All right, so looks like we've talked about a lot of the different things that are really important to know for level 1 practitioner. And let me just go over the list here, make sure that we have covered things. And so, and now I'm going to show you how a self-treatment works. Now this is a self-treatment where you are treating your own body, your own energy field, and it's very useful for those of you that are taking the Reiki 1 class so that you can treat your own health issues that you might have. Now, our body has a series of energy cycles, energy spots that are called chakras, okay? And so we have 7 main ones that go down our physical body, and we start at the lower ones. The first one is the root chakra. Then near the navel, we have the sacral chakra. Right here is your solar plexus chakra. Here is your heart chakra. And here's your throat chakra. Here is your third eye chakra. And here's your crown chakra. The basic idea of a self-treatment is to place your hands on each of the chakra centers or energy centers. That was the word I was looking for, was centers, okay? Now, people visualize these chakras in different ways. All you need to know is that they're there. Now, you have chakras on the palms of your hand. Each one has a chakra on it, your hand, palm chakras, and on the bottom of your feet too. So technically, you could send Reiki to, or give Reiki to somebody with the soles of your feet if you were to aim your feet at them, but it's a little awkward to do. But it's also really good to know that you do have energy centers down there so you can connect with the earth, which will be very grounding. And we'll talk about that too, how you can ground yourself. Okay, so to do your self-treatment, you're going to try to treat both the front and the back. But even if you can just treat the front of yourself, that's good. That's better than nothing, okay? So I do a self-treatment every day. I think I probably have done Reiki on myself every day since I first got attuned. And it's really important. And a lot of people ignore that part. They want to treat other people. They want to go out and heal other people. But you're going to be a better healer if you heal yourself first. Clear your own energy, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate the hand positions to you. I'll put my hands on the top of my head like this, close my eyes, and I'll treat myself for probably about 5 minutes, okay, in this position. Now, I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes with my hands on my head. I'm demonstrating how it works, okay? But they sell these little timers, or you could probably get one on your phone. It has a really nice little chime for an alarm, or probably an iPhone has a nice alarm on it that's not too annoying. And set it for 5 minutes. Go on to your third eye, and you can do it like this. I sometimes like to do the front and the back at the same time, like this. And a lot of the times you see people covering the whole face, and that's fine too. So 5 minutes here. Then you'll move on to the throat chakra. Now, a lot of health issues can be treated by treating the particular chakra that this particular health issue is associated with. So the throat chakra, as you might imagine, would be your throat, your jaw, your hearing. Okay, that third eye would be for eyesight. The crown chakra might work on your brain. Then we're going to move down to the heart chakra. Leave your hands there for about 5 minutes. Now you might notice, and I do often notice this, that certain areas of my body that maybe needs a little more energy, you're going to feel that energy flowing a lot more. It's going to be noticeable, okay? So take notice. Then you'll go to the solar plexus chakra. Hands there. Now, if you want to do like this, you can. You want to try and get over that chakra. Now, please try to keep your fingers together, your thumb like this, and try not to cross your hands. Don't put one hand on top of the other, in other words. Then you go down to the sacral chakra, which is right around your navel. And do your self-treatment there for 5 minutes. And then you go to the root chakra. Now you can go this way, or you can put your hands on your legs, because this root chakra goes all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Okay, that's your grounding. That's where you stand. Okay, so there's your root chakra, and that will be for 5 minutes. And to do the back side of your body, I mean, of course, it's this you can easily reach with your hands. That would work for your third eye. Okay, going in back like this of your head. I always think that feels really good. You can treat your throat chakra. And then depending how far you can reach, you know, some of you that are into yoga could probably reach way up there, but it's a little difficult. So reach as far as you can and try to at least get to the sacral chakra, and then down below that, where your tailbone is, to the root chakra. And as I said, even if you can just do the front positions, that is better than nothing, and take some time to really meditate, really feel that Reiki energy flowing through you. Now, after you receive your attunement, I'm going to ask you to please, first of all, try to put your hands on another person. It would be ideal. So if you could have a family member or a friend come over after you get that attunement, and I will remind you to do this, find that person and put your hands on them and get that energy flowing. You're going to feel a lot better if you can do that. If you don't have a person, if you have a cat or a dog, now the cat or the dog might not be willing. And that's something else. It's called Reiki ethics. You're not to give Reiki to someone that does not want it, including an animal or a young child. Okay, so don't force it on anybody. You always have to get permission to do Reiki. All right, so that's really important. Energies exchanges are okay, especially once you get to the Reiki 2 level and you're a practitioner and you want to charge people. That's fine. Some people always just want to give Reiki for free, and that's okay too. You just don't want to make it impossible for someone who really wants healing to have it. All right, we're here as vessels. Now, we are not doing Reiki, okay? Reiki is flowing through us using our body, but we get a big benefit out of that because when the Reiki flows through our bodies, it's healing us at the same time that that energy is going out to heal others. Okay, so it's not just like, okay, energy is going straight through you out to another person and they get healed. No, it's going through you, healing you at the same time, and then goes out to that other person. And it's not getting watered down in any way. It's still just as strong for them as it is for you. So that's one of the that's one of the great perks about Reiki, is that the healer gets healed at the same time. So I give all the credit to Reiki. And I don't even like to say I'm a healer. I say I'm a healing facilitator because I make it a little easier for the Reiki to get to the target person who needs it, or animal, or plant. Okay? I think you're going to really enjoy that. Now, those are the hand positions for doing a self-treatment. Now, I'm going to be showing you how to do a treatment on another person. Okay, so here is my very willing Reiki assistant, Reiki Bear, and I'm going to be using him to show you how to do a hands-on healing with Reiki on another person. It's basically the same as you would do on a self-treatment, but you're going to be doing it on another person. So we'll start with the crown chakra and put our hands in that area. Figure out exactly where his crown chakra is. So top of the head. Now, in some areas, you're not going to want to press down. In fact, always give a light touch because the Reiki is the one that's doing the job. You're not really massaging anybody. So you want to just put your hands lightly on the other person. The same with when you're doing your own self-treatment. Then we go to the third eye. Now, some people like to put their hands side by side, one hand in front of the other. It can vary, whatever is comfortable for you and the other person. All right, and then you'll move down to the throat chakra. That side by side, one hand in front of the other, is often the most comfortable. How long do you leave your hands there? Well, this is where your intuition is going to come in. I mean, you can do like you do with your self-treatment and figure 5 minutes, but eventually you're going to be using your intuition to let you know how long to leave your hands there. If you feel the energy coming out of your hands, and let's talk a little bit about what that energy feels like. Your hands might start to feel hot. And right after you get your attunement, you might really feel your hands heating up quite a bit. That's why it's really important for you to go and put your hands on another being to just charge some of that energy. And break up the log jam, as they say, okay? Then you go to the heart area. Now, on a woman, you want to avoid the breast area, of course. So a light touch above that area. Sometimes you may feel more comfortable, especially if you're standing above a person, to have your hands in this position. It's however it is comfortable. Now, you might notice I'm leaning over quite a bit doing this. My back's going to be killing me if I do this for very long. So make sure that you are in a comfortable position. I've got this table kind of high right now. If I were to be sitting down, which is fine, you can sit down on a chair to do this, then I would have the table lower. You don't have to have a massage table. You can, just rig up anything that's comfortable for both you and the person receiving the Reiki. Okay, now I'll go down to his solar plexus. We got it this way. I could put my hands this way if I wanted to. Now, don't feel bad if you don't get what they call hot hands. Personally, my hands have never heated up all that much. I've had times when I thought my hands were freezing cold, and I apologized to people for my cold hands. And later on, they told me that it felt like my hands were burning up. So it's all in the way people are perceiving things. And that was one of those little Reiki miracles that happened to me one time, where I apologized to a woman for my cold hands, and she told me later that it was so helpful and that it felt like I was putting heating pads on her back. So you never can tell what the other person is feeling. Then we go down to the sacral chakras. And lastly, we'll do the root chakra. Now, this is a sensitive area on other people. So you're going to hold your hands over that area. You also might feel more comfortable putting your hands on the knees or the feet. And to be honest, after you've done this for a while, you may not do the treatment in this particular order that I have shown you here, okay? You might feel like right off that you need to go over here to the foot. Haven't asked the person any questions about any injuries or anything, and you're feeling that you have to go to that foot, and you feel the energy running really strong. Maybe you feel like you got to put your hand on the bottom of their foot, maybe their calf. And a lot of the time, when you question that person about their right foot after you're all done with the treatment, they're probably going to tell you that they had some issues, some health issues, some injury or something there, and that's why you were drawn to that area. So it's going to amaze you sometimes what you come up with. Now, notice that we didn't put the hands in here anywhere, but a lot of the time you will feel drawn to go over and put your hands on that person's arm. I probably would not reach over the person like this, but I wanted to show you touching the person's arm, hand. That may call to you, so follow your intuition. Go where you're led in treating that person. And I believe that, a level 1 person, you're not supposed to call yourself a practitioner yet, I guess, until you're level 2. But a person who's practicing Reiki, even at level 1, you're going to start getting these insights about what you should be doing. Okay, now we're going to turn Reiki Bear over. Generally on a massage table, I was a massage therapist for a while. On a massage table, you have a face cradle, so they could put their face in the face cradle, but you wouldn't be able to see it all if I had the face cradle on there. So same thing, go back over here, do the crown, third eye, even though there's no forehead here, same area. Remember, you can switch your hands around, whatever is comfortable. Just make sure your fingers are together, okay? Like this. Throat chakra. Here's the heart. Here's the sacral chakra. And the root chakra is not as invasive on this side, but it can be pretty invasive. So we could go to the legs. And this can really help to ground somebody too, because that root chakra is all about grounding. So thank you, Reiki Bear, for your assistance. There you have the hand positions for treating another person. Okay, so you have watched how to do a self-treatment, how to do a treatment on another person. We talked about free will, asking permission. We talked about how you will be receiving your own individual attunement. And so now, looks like you're ready for your attunement. What you're going to do is you're going to contact me either through text message or call me and leave a message or through email, and we will arrange a time to do your own personal attunement. Now, if you're going to be doing this remotely, I will be using Reiki Bear as a proxy, and I will be doing the attunement on him to be passed on to you. So for that moment in time, Reiki Bear is going to be you. And you're going to be sitting in a chair, wherever you happen to be, in a quiet room, and you'll receive your attunement remotely through a distance attunement. And after you receive that attunement, you need to get grounded. It'd be a good idea to be very hydrated ahead of time. I don't suggest using drugs or alcohol even the day before you get your attunement. You want to make sure that you are there, so you don't want to be smoking anything thinking that it's going to enhance it. It's not going to enhance it. It's better for you to be in your normal mind, let's say, and feeling fairly grounded, because after that Reiki starts to flow, you want to really, really ground yourself. You might want to put your hands on the ground. They don't call it grounding for nothing, right? You're going to be putting your hands on the ground to try to release some of that pent-up energy that you might have. Make sure you get a drink of water, eat something, go outside, connect with nature, take some deep breaths. Try to give some Reiki to even a tree or a plant if you don't have a person or a willing animal around. And animals have free will too, right? So if your dog doesn't want you to do that, give them any Reiki, don't do it. I've had dogs that were Reiki junkies. They just constantly would come up to me to get Reiki from me, and I always knew what they wanted. I put my hands on them. And others that thought it was too strange until they were sick, and then they liked it. So you never know how they're going to react, but try to release that energy and get it flowing, because we want it to flow through you. And then I want you to sit down and do a self-treatment on yourself, okay? Go through those positions, and I'll send you a copy of the hand positions as well. And get yourself grounded. And if at any time you have any other questions about what's going on with you, any sensations that you might feel, then please, please, please contact me and ask. Now, what might you experience during your attunement? It's funny because I experienced something during my attunement, and I remember I went in there blind. I didn't really know anything about Reiki when I showed up at that Reiki 1 class, and I saw some lovely pastel, lavender, green, swirling colors in my mind's eye. Because it's a good idea to have your eyes closed during your attunement, because you could see, I suppose you might call them visions, or you might see symbols, or you might just get some kind of interesting colors the way I did. And later on, I read that that was one of the common things that people got during a Reiki attunement was to see those same lavenders and greens that I saw. And I didn't even know that that was a possibility at the time. I just thought it was very interesting. I felt a slight pressure on the left side of my head, and that's your intuitive side, by the way. I just thought it was very interesting. I might not have even noticed it because it was just so very slight. And that I think has been common for every attunement. And anytime I've had any kind of an energy thing where I'm receiving some kind of new energy, I feel that very slight pressure on the left side of my head. Maybe that's just me, but I think that maybe it could apply to some other people. You might feel some tingling. You might feel like you want to laugh. You might feel like you have this release of emotions. Or you might not feel anything. So what I felt was extremely subtle. Don't worry about it. You still got an attunement, okay? If you don't feel that energy running right away, don't worry about it. You're still doing Reiki. And you're going to be amazed because other people are going to feel that Reiki that's coming out of you. So there's a lot of insecurities people feel about Reiki, doing Reiki, that they are very timid about doing Reiki for others. And just know that you have been attuned to Reiki and you can do it. And I'm here to encourage you. Okay, I went through all those first things of doubting. When I did my first class, I was extremely nervous. The Diane Stein book really helped me a lot because she said that your guides will be there. Okay, at level 2, you really may start to notice that there are others in the spirit realm who are there to assist you because they want Reiki in the world. Reiki is going to be something that will be here forever. Okay, it's a divine energy. My mom does Reiki, and she told me when she had a very powerful attunement, which I was privileged to give to her, and she started to just cry with tears of joy. And she said, it's just love. It's God's love. Just remember, when you're doing Reiki, it's a three-way thing. Now, you can be an atheist, but there's got to be some higher vibrational thing that you believe in, like love, peace. Those are some wonderful things to connect to. So you're going to be connecting to the higher realm, the divine spirit, whether you're a Buddhist, a Christian, a Jew, whatever you are. It's between that higher spirit, between you, between the person you are treating. And remember, free will comes in there for them to receive that Reiki energy. Okay, I hope I have covered everything that I needed to cover for Reiki level 1. It sure seems like I did, but I know you're going to have a million questions. So always be sure to contact me. And you can also go to my my Facebook page and ask questions on there. It's sageblossomreiki.com. And my website, of course, you probably found me through my website, is www.sageblossomreiki.com. Okay, and I will be talking to you soon. I'm very excited that you're starting on this wonderful, wonderful Reiki journey. Namaste.